reading for you about somebody who had been struggling with the emotions that they have for you and not knowing how to communicate them, especially now that the two of you are no contact. So there's been an argument or even a breakup, maybe just a very fast rejection. But this was because they felt uncomfortable or they really weren't sure how to deal with what they wanted and whether or not they would get rejected. This time, if they get a second chance, they're promising that their actions will match their words. So the things that they said and how they act, they're going to align because they're not going to be scared of those emotions anymore. That's what they're saying. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of Wind Chime 10. And we will start with, we'll go with the Beginner's Tarot. Hey James, how are you doing? Hey Hayden, happy Friday. Hello Joaquin, how's your day going? What else do we have? Ace of Pentacles, the Empress, and the Five of Wands in the reverse. I know I want to make you an offer for a long-term relationship. I know I want to be with you. I know you're the one that I want. However, I also know that when I approach you and ask for a second chance, you might actually just like laugh at me or slam the door in my face or pour beer over my head or tell everyone that I was the biggest mistake of your life. This is someone who acknowledges, like, I know that I let you down, and if you reject me, I can't really say too much about it because I did ruin it, you know? I'm glad, James. Hello, Saryab, how we doing? Hello, Carrie, how are you doing? Nine of Pentacles, the Tower in the reverse, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. Yeah, so we've got someone who was a bit flighty, a bit uncomfortable. They said some things that were leading up to a more substantial emotional connection, and it started to freak them out what kind of expectations might come as a result of that. So it's like, you know, maybe there was some back and forth, but I feel like more so this feels to me like we've got someone who had a really great night with you or a really great weekend with you and started thinking about how things could be if you were together long term and started imagining maybe like having kids or getting a dog together. And that really scared them because this is somebody who has felt like it's taken them a long time to figure out how they need to operate and what they need to do to be self-sufficient or independent. There's something here where it was like being with you or being in that type of relationship made me feel like I would lose my individuality. So I freaked out and I ran away. I didn't know how to follow through on the things that I told you I wanted. Hello, 00. How you doing? Triple moon scent. Oh, are you can smell me? Wait. Does that mean that you can smell my candle? It's lavender. Actually, no. Sorry, I forgot. That's a new one. That's butterscotch. Hello, Bonnie. How we doing? So, look, there's this acknowledgement of not treating you the way you deserve to be treated because they were scared. And now they're feeling like even though you might not necessarily want to hear from them, they feel like they have to do something about this resentment that they created. They feel like they have to do better. Yes. Doing well. How about you, Hayden? Bonnie, I do personal questions after the general reading, which is usually about 30 or 35 minutes in, with priority to those who tip or donate. You can also donate a membership, by the way. Hello, Gnostic. How are you doing? 00, the candle comment was, yeah, to you, because you said sent. So we've got Death in the reverse and Temperance with the 10 of Pentacles. Huh. Long-term relationship. You're the one. You're the person I want to be with. I can't believe that I let this fall apart, or I can't believe I let you walk away. The reality is, I freaked out. I messed up. 9 of Swords. So they're dealing with a lot of anxiety, maybe even struggling to sleep at night because they want this second chance so badly, but they feel like there's so much that's like working against them. And they wouldn't be surprised if you decide to hold back, or if you decide to block them, or if you never want to respond to them again because they acted immaturely. They broke a promise, or, you know, they did the like, let's daydream about our future, but then I'm going to ghost you, you know? Hello, Sherry, how are you doing? That's rad, 00. Hello, Mandeep, how are you doing? 7 of Cups. Daydreams. I was just talking about that. They like to think about things and get all romantic with it, and then it's like the next day they're like, ah, that's scary, I don't want to do that. No. And they leave people in the 5 of Cups wondering, like, what did I do? Why did you walk away? I thought you were like into it. I thought you wanted to be in a relationship, and then all of a sudden you're like, gone. Moved to a different state. So they have a habit of ghosting or disappearing, or just, you know, not knowing how to take things to that next level, or that more exclusive level. This is the tarot, I'm sorry, the Earth and Bones tarot. What else do we have? 5 of Crystals, which is the 5 of Swords. Strength, and the Ace of Crystals or Ace of Swords in the reverse. Hello, Banjo Head. What a great name. They just sabotage things. I don't know, like... Let's just call them Susie Sabotage. They don't know how to do it any different. It's like, yeah, I know how to daydream about things. I know how to flirt. I know how to be a little bit charming or get past the 3rd date. But don't you dare ask me to be good in like week 3. I will mess it up by then. Nope, can't handle it. So, Susie Sabotage, we also have Strength for another S apparently, is frustrated because they encountered you. Frustrated because you are exactly what they've been looking for, and you've scared them. They didn't know what to do with you, but they can't stop thinking about you either. Yes, exactly, Carrie. Hello, Noise. How are you doing? Hello, Bulin. What's up? That seems like a good idea, James. We've got the Knight of Petals or Knight of Pentacles in the reverse, and the King of Pentacles. I don't know, man. This is somebody who wants to get into a serious relationship after like faking you out on this before. So you had several great dates, or, you know, you'd been getting to know this person quite well and felt like there was some chemistry here. And you talked about things getting serious, or you talked about like moving in, or, oh, we could have like a hobby farm together someday. And then this person was like, nope, I'm gone. Like a fart in the wind. Hello, how's it going, B? Hello, third eye. Happy Friday. How we doing? The star. The Queen of Wands, or the Queen of Wicks. And the Five of Petals, or Five of Pentacles. Well, yeah, you're in no contact. They want to heal things with you without actually having worked out how to do things differently. They're saying, this time I promise you my actions will match my words. But you might literally be thinking, well, that's cool, but like, I'm not even really that impressed by your words. So like, what are you really offering here? I will take you to Taco Bell. Ooh, I mean, like, I appreciate that you know how to communicate what you're actually capable of offering, but Pancheros are nothing. I did not get paid for that, and most of you don't know what Pancheros is. But it's so good. I miss it. There's none of them down here. I'm like about to go on a road trip just to have some of it, to be honest. All right, so you've got this person feeling like there's a pretty low chance that you would give them another opportunity with you. So they feel like they have to do something to make it really clear that they want to like let everybody else know that you're the one that they want. Perhaps this was a barrier before. This could be someone who didn't want to post you on social media, or somebody who was hesitant to be in an exclusive relationship because of issues with, you know, a clingy ex or a really judgmental family. And now they're like, so I know you don't really want to give me another chance, but what if I rent an airplane and make a huge banner, and behind the plane it will say, Queen of Wands is my person, or I love whoever. Susie Sabotage is no longer single. Whatever you want me to put on the banner, because I want you to know that I'm serious about you. Maybe you just want me to admit to everybody that I was really dumb for letting you walk away. You tell me, I'll do it. They want to show you that this is a different side of them, or that they're willing to do more for this relationship. But I'm just a little bit nervous that it's kind of gimmicky. We have the Lovers and the Nine of Swords. You're over here like, yeah, I mean, maybe you could do the romantic stuff. Maybe you could be a little bit more reliable. Maybe, you know, you could be vulnerable. But I'm always going to be worried about whether or not I can trust you. The Nine of Swords is that like anxiety or sleeplessness, right? You walked away and didn't tell me what was going on one time. What's to prevent you from doing it another time? Like, you already severely ruined the trust that you were trying to develop in this connection. That's fair, Gnostic. Hello, Elvis. How are you doing? I do personal questions after the general reading, which will be in probably like 20 minutes, with priority to those who tip or donate. High Priestess, Nine of Jars, or Nine of Cups in the reverse. And the Nine of Wands. So in this row of 6 cards, half of them are the number 9. Yeah. The Nine of Wands is about defending or protecting the things in your life that are important to you. And this is what they're going to tell you. They're going to say, I know that initially I made it seem like we were going to be something serious and then I didn't follow through on that. But I want you to know that this is something that I really do want to prioritize going forward. The issue is the Nine of Cups is in the reverse. I feel like they already messed it up too much. I don't know. I think you look at this person as secretive or someone you can't really trust. So it's not exactly like attractive for you. Hello, Tina. How are you doing? Hey, Elvis. I'm sorry, but I am like super against love spells. If you want to do like a manifesting, like drawing it in, cool. Most people, though, that are asking about love spells are asking to have a particular person want them, and I am so not into that. Go watch the Twilight Zone episode entitled The Chaser if you want to know why. Hello, Smiggled. How are you doing? Hello, Joshua. Hello, Huggy Bear. You spoke love spells? That explains the smell. Hello, Lace. How are you doing? We have the Two of Crystals or the Two of Swords. And the Ten of Crystals or Ten of Swords in the reverse. The Ten of Swords is about endings. It can be about betrayal. But in the reverse, it talks about recovery. So this is saying you have a choice. The Two of Swords is like a crossroads, right? Do you want to fix things with this person? Do you want to give them another chance? Or are you like, I gave you enough chances, or I gave you enough time, or I really can't forget how you treated me. So it seems like that would be an exercise in futility, or just like repeating a cycle. All right, this is the Edgar Allan Poe. Hi, Lace. Sometimes I do. It depends on the questions. Yeah, the ones that I do for free generally are more about spiritual growth. Hey, Marcus. How are you doing? Happy Friday. I hope you are doing well. We have the Tower and the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse. Page of Wands in the reverse. So the Tower can be like a significant change, right? Almost like a shocking moment. I feel like this is when the person comes back around because you were pretty sure that this was someone who was not interested. Maybe because of their actions, maybe because of what they actually said to you. Even if initially they were telling you, gosh, I really like how you move. I like how you talk. Maybe we could be together. They daydreamed about things and then disappeared. But this is somebody who is feeling like maybe, just maybe, they can figure out a way to make it seem like one big misunderstanding, which makes me feel like we've got someone who's not necessarily going to take accountability for how they messed up their first opportunity with you, right? Hello, EGX. How are you doing? Oh, thank you, Marcus. Let me see. I will add that for you. Going to do good finding coins this weekend. Awesome. I've added that for you. I didn't really have room for the whole word weekend, but hopefully I figure it out. Hello, Galaxy King. How are you doing? Hey, YouTube maid. What's up? What else do we have? Nine of Swords in the reverse. Eight of Wands. So the only way I feel like my anxiety will subside, or the only way I'm going to feel better, is if I finally reach out to this person and say, hey, like, I can't help it. I'm still thinking about you. I know I left things kind of weird, or I know I should have been more mature in how I communicated with you at the end there. Is there any way that we could meet and talk about it? Because I really feel like I owe you an apology. That would be a pretty legit approach to it, but this could actually be somebody who is not quite that good. Aw, you're kind, Marcus. Thank you for the generosity. Let me see. Okay, so it looks like Lace was asking why suddenly ghosted. Okay. I've added that to the list, Lace. I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong, by the way. And we've got probably about 15 minutes, no, a little bit less than that, until I start the personal questions. So not too long. All right. So this King of Cups in the reverse energy, it doesn't mean it has to be a man, right? But this is somebody who is struggling to understand things with taking your perspective into consideration. Are they going to try to say that they understand your perspective? Yeah, I think they're going to. But this is someone who hasn't really done justice to thinking about what happened and what it felt like for you. Maybe I need to give them credit. They could be possibly thinking, I have to have a conversation with you to actually understand how you might have felt. So I can't do that without talking to you or reconciling, or at least like having a chat, right? But this feels to me like somebody who's just kind of like, I'm going to come back in. I'm going to say some things differently, or I'm going to publicly claim you. And then I'm hoping that we can like actually go back to where we were before, you know? Oh, don't worry, Lace. I don't have to get that specific. When I specify that it's the one that you're like questioning about, they'll know what's going on. No worries. We have the Empress in the reverse. I feel like this is specifically calling out that this person who wants a second chance with you is not very adept where it comes, or where it concerns emotional connection. Over and over again, we've had a reference to somebody being immature or not really knowing how to understand this. Oh, hello, Whitmer. How are you doing? Let me add that for you. Is my girlfriend? Oh, I sure hope not. And still having affair. I've added that for you. It should be about 10, maybe 15 minutes when I get to that. And thank you for the tip. No problem. So we've got the Eight of Pentacles because this person has been doing some work. We got to give them a little bit of credit, okay? Because I do feel like this is someone who's at least acknowledging, if I want to be with somebody, I'm going to have to probably talk about feelings at some point. That seems like maybe a non-negotiable. But I also feel like this is somebody who's got a ways to go. They need to learn a bit more, and I feel like you're going to struggle with consistency with this person. I feel like they will fall back to old ways or old patterns fairly easily, because they don't seem as dedicated as they could be. It feels to me like it's, I want to get you back. I want to get some sort of second chance with you. And if I can convince you to do that, then like I'm home free. Where if you were genuine, I feel like it's more so I want to be able to be a good partner to you for a long-term relationship, not just get you back. Like you have to actually be with that person too, right? We've got the Fool and the Hanged Man in the reverse. See, this is what I'm saying. I feel like this is still somebody who's a little bit immature. Are they working on things? Yes. Are they going to communicate about feelings? Yes. Are they even going to apologize? I think they will. I think they're going to tell you that they should have been a little bit more honest with you, a little bit more honest with themselves, and they should have been more mature than just ghosting or running off, right? But with the long term, I still feel like there's immature decisions and failure to communicate because they haven't worked on the underlying problems that cause them to act immaturely. 10 of Wands, 7 of Cups in the reverse, and the 2 of Wands. I think when you hear from this person and you have a conversation with them, you can tell that they're already pretty uncomfortable. And there's something that tells you there's still more that needs to be addressed. Still something that maybe isn't quite right about this connection. With the 2 of Wands, you might be okay with having a conversation. You want to at least let this person say what they got to say. Maybe you don't have a response, but you're going to let them say what they have to say. I just don't know that you're impressed with how they're phrasing it or how they actually communicate enough to give them another chance. Apologies, accepted? Sure. Forgiveness? Sure. But like, I don't know. I don't think they're actually going to do better. I like that idea, Renee. How's your day going? Hello, Tabitha. How are you? Lise, this is still the general reading, so it could be a reading that resonates with the majority of the collective. With the personal questions, I'll read out what the list is, and that'll be in about 3 to 8 minutes. Very precise. Turbulence, tension, arguments, stress, time, waiting, cycles, moments. It's like a regular occurrence with this person. I don't think that they know how to manage stress. I think this is someone who gets argumentative or overwhelmed easily, and then they lash out or they push people away because of that stress. This is someone who wants to talk to you about what was going on when they didn't communicate properly with you. But it's just one of those things where it's like, you can tell me you had 18 different things going on, but if you didn't eventually find a way to communicate, then you weren't really interested in communicating to begin with, right? So they're going to try to make some excuse about being sidetracked, and maybe it did cause a delay, but they might not do themselves any favors by trying to justify how they did things because it cheapens their apology. If they know I should have treated you differently or I should have communicated more effectively, and they add a but clause to their apology, it just doesn't work as well, right? Just tell me the difference here, okay? I'm sorry for not communicating the way that you deserved to be communicated to regarding what was going on and how I felt about the situation. Option 1, right? Pretty good, right? Versus, I'm sorry I didn't talk to you about what was going on, but there was like this thing going on at work, and then my aunt had surgery, and then my ex created like 50 different email addresses to get around every block that I implemented. So I'm like, I'm sorry, but like there was just so much going on. I couldn't have done anything different. That's not an apology. Period. I don't care if it started with I'm sorry. I really don't care, because it's not an apology. It's a, here's all of the reasons why I should not be punished for how I acted. But I will say I'm sorry so that you leave me alone. Okay. So I don't think this person's really learned what they need to. And I feel like you have gotten to the point where you're just like over it. You don't have energy or time for this kind of repeating cycle. Hello, Lemonade. What's up? Yeah, I can definitely look into that. Yeah. There's got to be responsibility, accountability. This person's thirsty, okay? We got the lusting card coming out now. And what does it say? Non-committal. So they're coming back around. They want another chance. They're going to actually talk about their emotions. But are they just trying to get laid? I'm just curious. Because if that's what it's all about, like that would make sense, because they haven't got the long-term plans, right? They want to get another chance. They want to say that their actions are going to match their words. But it doesn't seem like they know how to actually show up in a consistent way. They're initiating the communication. I do think they're going to apologize. But I think this is about how attracted they are to you physically. Or for some of you, this is about needing some patient, loving individual, some shoulder to cry on. You can laugh at me, but I'm pretty sure there's some ridiculous percentage or, statistic out there of how many people pay a sex worker to just like listen to them instead of anything with nudity. Hello, Tiana. Welcome to the reading at this most special time where I'm making a strange comment about prostitutes. Hello, James. How are you doing? So look, you might feel conflicted when this person comes back. They might, like I said, they might be like, oh, I'll tell everyone on Instagram that we're together. Or, yeah, let's post pictures on Facebook. Or whatever they're going to do to announce their commitment to you, to the social community at large. They might be all gung-ho about that when previously they were not. Or like, hey, I'm going to introduce you to my family. I know last time you asked about that, and I was like, but now I'm totally all about it. It's not enough. They're like all set to take these great pictures or have this perfect weekend. But when you think about what's actually required to make a commitment or a relationship work long term, they ain't ready. They don't know how to do it. They don't know how to consistently communicate about their emotions in a way that contributes to building a strong foundation in a relationship. That whole sentence would probably exhaust them. All right, let's get a few from the romantic Lenormand, and then we got to switch over to those personal questions. Yeah, see? Hello, Sherry. How are you doing? Lemonade, are you calling yourself out? So we have the masculine energy. And the heart. Someone who's taking action towards the person they're interested in and saying, all right, I got to be honest. I got feelings for you. I miss you. I really want to see where this can go. But I feel like they're saying it because they know it's what you want to hear. I feel like they want a short-term connection. They want another chance with you, but not a long-term situation. They're like, you were really cool. You got some good taste in music. And I don't know, I need a date for this wedding in March. So, like, you'll do. Don't put me through that torture. Do not make me go to a wedding just so that you can have some. No. No. I'm sorry. Weddings are great. Don't get me wrong. They should be celebrated. And they should also have about 70% less drama. Oh no. So we have the owls. And just so you know, I'm afraid of owls. So I hope you appreciate this. The owls and the tower. The Lenormand tower is different from a tarot tower. It's not the easiest sentence to say. In that it's talking more so about a structure or an organization or even like a workplace or a building. Could even be that we're talking about a hierarchy within a family. But the owls are like gossip or communication. I don't like it. This is somebody who is talking about something because they feel like talking about their emotions with you will get them something they want within a bigger scheme. I just don't like it. It's like you're in She's All That, and you know, he's hitting on you and telling you you could be like the prom queen or whatever. You just have to remove your glasses and everything will be great. And then you end up finding out it was a bet the whole time. All right, we gotta move on to personal questions. So be cautious about somebody coming back around for a second chance. Make sure they've actually got long-term intentions. Hello, Robert. How are you doing? All right, so we have Marcus up first, and then Lace, and then we've got Whitmer after that. So for Marcus, we've got, will I do well finding coins this weekend? Will Marcus do well finding coins this weekend? Four of Wands, Tower in the reverse, the Hanged Man. Yes, but your initial approach is not going to do as well as you think, which is going to be a little bit of a mind, because you're going to be like, so you're going to show up and you're going to be like, okay, whatever initial approach, Carmen said it's not going to work, so I got to do this other one first. Then you're going to do that, then you're going to be like, that's not working. So did that end up being the first one? Do I need to have a second one come? Or would that one be the third one? I'm just saying you're going to have to be open to switching something up or pivoting, changing the location, something like that. But the Four of Wands says that, yes, you will do well. Look at all those coins in the air. Six of Pentacles, gain, Queen of Wands. Take a breather. There's something here where you like, initially you get nothing. And then all of a sudden it's like the wind picks up, you know? No one can really predict that. All of a sudden then you find some new strategy or different approach and it works out. Hey, you too, James. All right, let's see what we've got for Lace. This is the Bianco Nero. Why was Lace suddenly ghosted? The Moon, the Five of Swords, Death, Four of Pentacles. Is this lying about who they were? There's some element of what I was presenting to you. So whoever it is that ghosted you, if I'm talking like them, I presented myself in such a way in order to like get a chance or to be around you. But I made it difficult for myself in that way because I cannot keep that up. There's something here where it's like, you're eventually going to figure out that I'm not actually funny. Or you're eventually going to find out that I didn't actually go to that school. Or I don't go to the school that you go to. You know, like there's something weird here where it's like I was keeping something secret or I created some weird lie and it's going to eventually come out. It could have to do with work experience or connections, or what this person was busy doing. We've got Temperance and Star in the reverse. So is this like embarrassment? Yeah. Something I don't want to tell you because I was actually telling you something way cooler, but the truth is a lot worse, and you probably wouldn't like me anymore if I told you what was really going on. Thank you. Is it Rachella? I hope I said that right. Let me write down your name. And if you've got a question, let me know. Otherwise, I can just pull some random cards for you, okay? And will the person who ghosted Lace come back around? Will they be coming back? At this point, no. This is somebody who is... I mean, they're coming through as the Hermit in the reverse, okay? And the Five of Swords. So this is somebody who struggles to do the right thing, always puts their foot in the mouth, or always expects things to go poorly, so they ruin them themselves. Lace, I don't know if you've ever heard the song Hurricane by MSMR or Ms. Mister. I don't know how they say it. But you might want to look at the lyrics in that song, because it feels to me like you're dealing with somebody who always expects things to go wrong, doesn't maybe necessarily like themselves, or holds back a certain part of themselves that they're not proud of. And so they feel like you're eventually going to reject them anyway, so they're just going to walk away. So this is a confidence issue. This is a like, you wouldn't really want to like stick around for me anyways. Oh, I don't know that it's that he doesn't like you. I think it's just that this is somebody who doesn't have the confidence. If they don't love themselves, then they can't really know how to love you. Thank you, Rachel. I appreciate it. Does he feel the same way? He ghosted recently, not sure why. I've added that. Thank you, Rachel. And I wish you luck, Lace. Remember that you deserve to deal with people who know how to communicate with you like adults. That's just like, you know, the basic. All right, let's see what we've got for Whitmer. This is the Morgan Greer, and we've got, is my girlfriend cheating? I sure hope not. It looks pretty likely. Ace of Pentacles, Hanged Man, Nine of Swords, Chariot. This is like, if I'm not currently, then I am anticipating an opportunity to potentially do so. I do feel like there's travel involved. Wheel of Fortune in the reverse and the Ten of Pentacles. Someone who's willing to risk their relationship. You deserve better. You deserve someone who wants to be faithful to you. Somebody who wants to be honest with you. I'm not convinced that that's what this person is looking to accomplish. I do feel like... Is this some other person? I do feel like there's someone who is interested in you, Whitmer, and you don't know about it. This is someone who would actually treat you well. So I'm not trying to tell you that you should just, you know, pick up all of those emotions and throw them out the window. Because, you know, we're human, right? But when you and the girlfriend have a conversation, should it go the direction of you deciding that you need to probably end the relationship, just know that there's somebody else out here who's interested in you and like actively wanting to know whether or not you're single. You're welcome, Lace. And I wish you luck. I would not chase this person, Lace. It does seem like there's a lot of healing that needs to happen here before you would be treated the way you deserve to be treated. So I feel like a little bit of time to yourself, you'll see that there's someone else out there. Pretty similar to Whitmer, but let's just see, is it, we've got still having the affair, so I don't know if maybe you want to know if it's the same person. So the sense I'm getting is there's somebody that I was connected to that I am no longer connected to, but I am contemplating on how to like connect with somebody else, or I'm talking to but haven't met up with somebody else. So it's like I'm in between side pieces, which is kind of disrespectful, but is there a desire to change? No. Queen of Cups in the reverse. This person doesn't know how to love. So I think you deserve to be treated better than this person knows how to do. So let's see what we've got for Rachel. This is the Pause Tarot. Rachel would like to know, does he feel the same way? The Hanged Man and the Lovers in the reverse. I feel like this is someone who's skittish. It's like, does he feel feelings for you? Yes, but it makes him uncomfortable. Because the Lovers is in the reverse. This is like, I know I might be in love, but I don't want to think about it because then there are things that I have to do as a result. But this is somebody who's looking at you as somebody that is like a pretty good match for them. There's just this restlessness or anxiety. 10 of Cups, 8 of Cups. So they got scared. This is someone who got scared because they felt a little bit too much. And maybe also felt like with the 8 of Cups that maybe they would be able to avoid some heartache if they left now. This could be an air sign, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, or somebody who is kind of logical, analytical, linear, probably likes math better than literature. 9 of Cups in the reverse, 10 of Wands. I feel like this is somebody who fixated on a particular detail and was like, that's the reason I can't be with you. So I'm going to use that as a reason to walk away. But the reality is this is somebody who does have feelings for you. They're just scared probably of being rejected. So they get to the same point in a relationship and then ish blows up because they're like, I don't want to get my heart broken. I don't want to get abandoned or wonder, you know, whether or not that person was just wasting my time. Hello, Sherry. Thank you for the tip. Will I find new love relationship this year? New love relationship. So will the person who ghosted Rachel come back around? Yes, I do feel like this person's going to connect with you. I do feel like it's a little bit longer of a wait. But this is someone who, because they are analytical, they might be an overthinker. So this could be somebody who they fixated on something that they felt was like going to be a problem or made the two of you not really that compatible. And they exaggerated it or they made it something that was like, "Ah, deal breaker, you know? But they also then start to overthink their own decision, their own conversation with you, or the decision process. And then they're like, man, but think about all these other things that Rachel has going for her. Maybe I made a bad decision. They're going to start overthinking their own overthinking and then wonder if there's maybe a chance to reconnect. So give it time. The overthinker is gonna swing back the other way, and then it's gonna be like, do you want to like get coffee or something? Should we like talk about things? I feel like maybe I was a little bit hasty in that decision. And hopefully you get some pretty direct communication. But this is someone who works better with numbers than feelings. Oh yeah, good call. Thank you, Lemonade. All right. Let's see what we've got for Sherry. This is the Tarot of the Nile, and good luck to you, Rachel. Will Sherry find a new love relationship? Yes. King of Cups, Hierophant in the reverse. This could be somebody that you meet in a rather unconventional way, or this could be somebody that you're kind of like, this is not my normal type, but it just works. I can't explain it, but it works. There could be like an age gap. There could be a significant difference in terms of lifestyle or belief system, but there is a compatibility despite this. We have the Hanged Man in the reverse and Death in the reverse. Yeah, I don't think this is somebody like that you would have necessarily chosen initially. The number 6 is important. So I do feel like June is a really important month for this relationship. Could be when you meet, could be when things get exclusive. But this is somebody who is very certain about wanting to be with you. And you might be a little bit like, okay. You might need a minute because there is something a little bit different from your regular type or the type of person you would see yourself being with. Anything else? We have the Star, the 8 of Cups, and the 7 of Pentacles. It's important for you to walk away from a person that you are physically attracted to or you find to be very exciting or popular, but you know it's not the right connection for you because there is a risk here that you miss out on this next relationship that you're supposed to be in because you get distracted by someone who isn't really a good choice or isn't really somebody that you would be compatible with. You're welcome, Rachel. Hello, Jesse. How are you doing? Did I say hello to Chris? How are you doing? Anything else for Sherry, please? The Emperor in the reverse and the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse. The one that you got to watch out for is somebody who is controlling. And it's like they're the type of person that would walk out angrily and slam the door when they don't get their way. Don't get caught up with this because it will distract you from the relationship with the like unconventional good person you're supposed to be with. All right. This is the Catamancy. Hey, Sea Dog, how you doing? Happy Friday. Hello, Inner Soul. How are you doing? Yes, I'm happy to do that. Current housing situation for Inner Soul. Six of Swords in the reverse and the Five of Wands in the reverse. The Moon in the reverse and the Two of Wands in the reverse. So I chuckled as I was pulling cards for you because the image in my mind is from a long, long time ago. I remember being in like an old school station wagon where the very back of the station wagon had two seats where you're looking out the back, right? And my brother and I are sitting in those seats. I don't know, I must have been like 5 or 6. And it's like, I think my mom was sitting in the back seat or something, like arm over, like making sure the two of us stopped arguing because we had to sit next to each other, but we were like not happy with each other. It's like there's a restraint here where I can't like slap you upside the head because I don't want to get arrested, or I can't just move out because I have like an actual agreement, like a contractual obligation here. But ooh, you burn my cookies. You make me so mad. Moon in the reverse. That's because these people are petty, or this person is petty. Whoever I'm picking up on. It could be more than one person with that Two of Wands in the reverse. Hermit in the reverse. Did they even like turtlenecks? Like, look, I hate turtlenecks, okay? Hermit in the reverse is somebody who is like intentionally obtuse. I want to say the word obnoxious. And probably a bit spoiled or entitled. But there's something going on with this person's job with the Eight of Coins. What's going on with their job? So this is someone who is expecting an offer or expecting something to go well, and I feel like they might not get the answer that they're hoping for. So if they're hoping for a promotion, they're not going to get the promotion. If they're hoping for their contract to be extended, it might not get extended. There could be an issue here for them. King of Swords in the reverse. This person's lying to you about their financial situation. Yeah, they're lying to you about their financial situation. They don't want you to know that they've got some serious problems. So is this somebody who's going to be causing like payment issues? I don't know that it's so much like payment issues as like they might do ridiculous things to get the money that they need. The Tower, Judgment in the reverse, and the Six of Wands. So I don't know that I would be trying to live with this person for too long because I do feel like there's an air of desperation here. There's somebody who could be dealing with financial issues or job issues, some insecurity about whether or not things are going to go well money-wise. Will this person be moving out? Yes, I do think this person's going to move out. Nine of Wands. I feel like there's an opportunity for a different location. I'm looking at this card like it's a grid for a city. And it's like, oh, it's closer to my favorite bar. Deuces. Like, there's some weird detail that motivates this person to move. And I feel like you're like, woo, I'm all for it. Go for it. See you later. Adios. My bathroom's going to be so much cleaner now. They're going to leave. Probably not soon enough, though. Hello, Baby Yoda. How are you doing? Hello, Lori. How are you doing? Hey, two. What's up? All right, y'all. I think I'm going to leave it there. Because now I'm throwing things on the floor. You guys didn't break, did you? It's okay. The ghost didn't have a nose to begin with. Okay, I have to go home now. I'm drunk. I love you guys. I'm not really drunk. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. Thank you for hyping if you're able to. And I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.